ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's the workout princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I am doing great, Andre. It's been a weird day. I am a workout princess, aren't I? It has not been a day off in the last 2 weeks. Holy heckin' crap. Well, except for technically yesterday. I had a therapy session with a guy instead of working out. It
Oh,
is what it is.
therapy. Okay, therapy.
If you consider me just bitching about things while he does his leg day and I count his reps, yeah. Yeah, that was that.
Oh, that's what we call it now. Counting reps. Counting reps. Okay.
Andre, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing absolutely phenomenal. Uh, Up and down weekend, let's just say that emotionally over the last 4 days, birthday, other things happening in my life, so everything fluctuates, and you feel weird, and then you're told by one of your best friends that, oh, you're maturing, and it makes you go, God damn it, what is happening to me? So yeah, that's life. That's my life.
Little bit.
Goddamn friends,
Telling you the hard truths.
making me realize things about myself.
Is what we do.
But what I realize most about myself is I love professional wrestling. So we're here to
Yeah.
talk some professional wrestling. But before we do that, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, commenting down below. We love to hear off from you. Joe Demetrius, Frank, thank you so much, my man, for all the great comments you've been dropping here on NJPW Puroresu Review. Please keep coming. We'd love to hear from you, buddy. Don't forget, you can reach out to us on social medias, and we have our link trees. The link tree now on the main page of our main page. You can go. It's a link tree there. You can go to and it shows all of our social medias, our Blue Skies, our X's, our Instas, or all that stuff. So yeah, you can check
All
us out.
that jazz.
All that jazz is on there, so please check that out. So, yeah, I built it today, so
Look at you go, Mr. Productive.
it's mine and Mel's shared link tree because we do all
Shared
this stuff.
responsibility.
Yeah, we do all this stuff together. So please check that out. You can check all that stuff there. We'll talk about it again at the end of the show. But don't forget to like the videos, subscribe to the channels, and don't forget to comment down below because we love to hear from you. And don't forget, please, 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 please hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new show.
Ding dong.
Hello. But we are
Love it.
here. We're here to talk some G1 Climax 33, Night 18, the semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, howdy, one of them was really great. The other was, I don't know what to say. It wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good.
It was a thing.
It was a thing that I don't really want to talk about. We're going to because that's what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to kick it off with a really fun opening tag match. We had a Masawato and Hiroshi Tenzan versus Hayata and Kaito Kiyomiya. Hayata is the current GHC Junior Heavyweight Champion, pretty much Noah's version of Hiromu Takahashi.
This was who I thought it was. Remember, I was like asking you who I thought it was.
You thought it was Blue Pants, didn't you? From
No. Remember, I thought it was the guy with the weird pants, and it was the guy with the weird pants.
Yeah, it was the dude with the weird pants, but his pants weren't weird on this show. But it's just
but this was who I was expecting.
Yeah, he was the GHC champion. So
Yeah.
he came in here to team up with Kaito Kiyomiya, Team Noah versus Team New Japan. Hayata getting the advantage early, but Wato gets a beautiful head scissors. Mongolian chops from Tenzan to Naito when they're in the ring. Corner crossbody by Kaito, and then the jumping elbow to Mr. Tenzan. Hayata with his own Mongolians to Tenzan, but Tenzan just like and just drops.
The crowd was on fire that night too, and they started booing him something fierce when he started doing that.
There was only one man that could seal Tenzan's Mongolians, and that's the Great Okan.
All hail.
All hail. Springboard drop Springboard back elbow by Wato to Hayata for two. Missile dropkick by Kaito to Wato for two. A brain buster by Tenzon to Kaito for two. Kaito gets back, comes back, gets the dragon screw, or fights back, gets the dragon screw, but gets slammed by Tenzon for two. Then he applies the anaconda vice, but it does get broken up. Mr. Watto misses the plancha to Hayata on the floor. So this allows Kaito in the ring to hit the jumbo knee, and Hayata to come in and hit the enziguri to Tenzon, and Kaito hits the shining wizard to Tenzon for the win. Team Noah defeating Team New Japan.
Yes, yes. And I believe it was Chris Charlton saying on commentary throughout the match here, Kaito is actually the last person to actually pin Hayata or defeat Hayata by anything other than like, I think he only lost to like a DQ
Yeah,
before.
I think he's taken losses, but he has, like Roman Reigns, he has not been pinned.
Yes, that's what I meant. Pinned or submitted.
Yeah, well, up till that match where the Usos pinned him in the tag match, but yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
He's not on a winning streak, but he's on a pinning streak.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, like I said, this was exactly who I was expecting to see when we first mentioned that he was going to be teaming with him. Really happy to see him. He looks very different. I really like that intro mask where it's just like it's all gone except for that. It's really super creepy. It works really, really well with his overall look. Holy heck, and Shiza Magaiza is he fast. Like Watto's fast. Watto's already like unnaturally fast in comparison to some of the juniors. Hayata though, there was a point where I can't remember what he did to get Watto down, but he did the move to get Watto down. Watto kind of ended up on his butt. And as Watto was trying to get back up, Hayata had already jumped up, turned around, ran behind him, hit the ropes, and hit him with a drop kick. Watto wasn't even back on his feet. The speed that this guy has is unnatural, and I love it.
Yep.
And him and Watto worked so well together. It was like essentially watching the male version of Starlight Kid and Azumi, the speed that they started going for me at one point. I loved it. Kaito, I also felt worked super duper well with Tenzon in this. I really, really liked their kind of time in the ring. Yeah, Kaito earned a nice win on this one. I'm happy to see him picking up some wins.
Yeah, because again, he kind of got screwed in the G1. So
I agree.
we move on. Show to Umino versus teaming with Tomoaki Hanma, taking on Strong Styles, Minoru Suzuki, and Ren Narita. Narita and Umino each trying to gain the early advantage. Umino attacks Suzuki in the corner, and him and Hanma double shoulder block Narita, and Hanma gets a 2 count. Umino running wild with the strikes to Narita and gets the bridging fisherman suplex for 2. Narita fights back, gets the wheel kick, and Suzuki comes in and unloads on Umino, just beating the shit out of him. Gets the snapmare and the PK for 2. Kicks by Suzuki and then the guillotine, but Umino gets a suplex out of the guillotine and hits a drop kick. The Kokeshi is missed by Tomoaki Hanma, and Narita fights him, and he gets the rear naked choke. But Narita breaks it. Hanma takes out Suzuki. Umino hits the exploder into the Hanma Kokeshi for 2. Great little combo. Exploder into the Hanma Kokeshi. Northern Lights suplex into the Cobra twist, but Hanma gets out. But Narita gets a hard strike. He gets the rear naked choke, reapplies the Cobra twist, and Hanma is forced to tap out. Really good. I really, really I love the story they're telling with Narita and Umino. These two, it's gonna be that story of it's gonna be that Naito and Okada each trying to one up each other for a long time story.
I agree, and I look forward to seeing it. These guys are fighting really, really hard. They're starting to really show some character, some development here. Narita was one who I thought was coming off a little stale, because despite being very technically superior and just such a joy to watch wrestle, he really was lacking that personality, that reaction, that animation in his wrestling that Shota has really started to bring out in him. And I think that continuing to work with Umino is only going to get better and better results out of him. I didn't take too many notes on this one. I just kind of enjoyed it and summarized it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The kind of feud between Umino and Narita was definitely more on display in this one. Hamna and Suzuki were definitely more of a backseat. Wasn't Suzuki actually like very adamant that Narita be in there as long as possible? I feel like he didn't hop up on the apron voluntarily throughout the match to relieve Narita.
Yeah, I think it's the the senior telling his junior to be like, you've got to work
Tough
harder,
enough.
you got to be smarter, you got to be faster, you got to be better. And it's like, I'm
Hmm.
not going to save you. You might not be young anymore, but I'm still more experienced than you, and I'm not going to
Hmm.
save you. Is kind of what it is. But my biggest thought of this
Yeah.
match is call Keshi. That's my main thought of that.
Hamna is such a joy to watch. I love
God,
him. He's always so happy.
yeah, there was one point where I just couldn't stand at Tomaki Hanma, but I've come so far around on this dude that like he
Hmm.
is a highlight for me when he's on the undercard because I know
Yeah.
I'm going to really enjoy what he does in a tag match.
He works so hard.
Hmm.
So hard, that man. Such a joy to watch.
Kokeshi, but we move on. It's a 10-man tag. It's chaos. Hiroki Goto, Toriano, Yoshi-Hashi, and teaming up with I guess he's from Great Bash Heel, Togi Makabe, taking on the Bullet Club. Alex Coggin, Chase Owens, David Finley, Gabe Kidd, and Kenta with Gato. Bullet Club attacks before the bell. They brawl to the floor. Yana removes the pad, but Chase gets a hold of it and starts stomping on the mat. And Yana literally climbs over the pad to like protect the pad. It was just like, what? Like essentially what Khan did for Osprey the night on the quarterfinal show.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, that made sense. This makes no sense. Why are you protecting a quarter pad? Oh, Jesus.
We don't ask Yano why he Yanos.
Yeah, Bullet Club doing some really good tagging in and out and like just beating up on
Yeah.
Yo. Really good cohesion in that sense. Gabe
Mhm.
takes his shirt of Yo and like wipes it in between in his crotch, and then like
Yeah.
and then drops the Ric Flair elbow on it.
He does, yeah.
He does. Yo tries to fight back with Coggin, but he does get dominated with the attacks, but slips the suplex, gets the leaping strike, and gets Goto in the match. Bishamon double team multiple members of the Bullet Club. They get the sweep, and they get the Russian leg sweep headhunter combo to Chase, and they get the war drums to Kenta. Goddamn war drums.
I hate those
Uh,
things.
Coughlin, and this one involved Yano,
Hmm.
of all people.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like the war drums are actually less effective if Yano's involved.
I think they're even less effective if Okada is involved.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah. So the Kogan stops the Bulldog of Goto into a Blue Thunderbomb for two.
Mhm.
Uh, Quadruple attack by Chaos, and Yo gets a Falcon Arrow. Bullet Club group up and they fight everybody off, and they group attack Togi Makabe, the legal man.
Mhm.
Finley gets a DDT for two. Then the strike to the back, that forearm strike to the back of the head for two. Makabe fights back, unloads strikes, but Finley hits a headbutt, hits the rolling elbow, and then hits the Trash Panda into oblivion for the win.
I love that you call it the trash panda into oblivion.
Well, the way Chris and Kevin keep calling it, it's called the Into Oblivion, and from the way they pronounce it, they say the Into Oblivion. They always say Into Oblivion, so I'm calling
Hmm.
it the Trash Panda Into Oblivion.
It makes sense, especially given how mad you are about it not being
Wow,
called the
you
trash
don't
panda and
steal
being called
people's
oblivion.
moves. You don't steal the name of people's moves. Liv Morgan got that. Got the Oblivion first. Well, what are
This
your thoughts on this one?
this was a glorious chaos. I kind of
I
felt
don't
like,
I don't know if it was glorious, but
I mean, it could have been worse.
yeah,
I
maybe
actually
glorious
kind
scores
of
Bullet
enjoyed
Club.
this,
Yeah.
just because everyone kind of got their opportunity to pop off their stuff.
Mm.
This was kind of let's let everyone kind of show you what they did, because we haven't seen Makabe for a bit. We haven't seen Yo for a bit. You know, it was nice to see them be able to get some of their stuff off. But with the Bullet Club kind of freshly formed, as it were, in the last couple of months, we need to start to see that team unity and that cohesion. And I think that this match really started to show how each person in Bullet Club knows where they fit and what to do and when and how. Kind of speaks to maybe a little bit of the leadership of David Finley, or maybe Gato. I don't know. We'll figure that one out as the months kind of come. Because I'm not entirely sure who I think is the actual leader.
It's
Like, who might be
Kenta.
the.
It's Kenta.
Yeah, it's got to be at this point.
No, it's evil.
Bruh. Yuck. Yuck.
Mm,
This one was an interesting one, though. Like I said, everyone did get their opportunity to kind of show off, have fun. Feel like this was kind of like a bit of a fun filler match for them all.
yeah, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
We move on. It's a 6-man tag match. I didn't scroll down. It's Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Shingo
Woohoo.
Takagi, and Yota Tsuji versus the United Empire's Great Khan, Hinare, and Jeff Cobb.
Great call.
I wanted to go the opposite of the high pitched Bushi for Great
Oh,
Khan.
sweet Jesus. Oh, they're funny. You're funny.
So, like, I was watching the entrance, and they have
Mm-hmm.
the video playing, and it shows all the members of the
Mm-hmm.
United Empire,
Yeah.
including Gideon Gray.
Yeah.
So, there, to me, the mystery is afoot. Where's the Money Man? Where's Gideon Gray? We haven't seen
Where's the
him in
moneymaker?
we haven't seen the Money Man in a hot minute.
I mean, maybe he's busy making money in that Rev Pro area.
Or he's busy stealing from all the peasants that live in his village.
Hey, there you go. I mean, we're not going to judge him. He's funding
Well,
the Empire pretty good. They got some fancy new graphics, fancy new music.
well, Osprey going back to the right music, that's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, I definitely like this music a lot better than the
Well, the
one that they
group
were having before.
yeah, I like the new group music. I think it really is good. I don't know what happened to that song, which I did enjoy, but I like the new group music.
I do too.
Yeah. So we get into the match. Khan, he's back in the trunks tonight. He's not in his
Yeah.
pant gear. I am very okay with that because I think
Mhm.
he's more of a vicious dude when he's wearing when he's rocking the. He just seems to be more cohesive with people. I don't know. Yeah.
I just like that he changes it up so much. It's almost like Julia, where he's like constantly changing his look to kind of keep everything
Mhm.
fresh and new and trendy.
Yeah, that's very true. We'll
Mhm.
talk about Julia very soon because
Yeah.
she's coming to America.
Yeah.
Um, Bushi pulling the braid around the rope of Khan to like pull on the hair.
Yeah.
Suji ends up like sitting on Khan, like he gets Khan seated, and then he like pushes Khan's neck down, and, like sits on his neck while
He
he
had his
sits
leg
on the.
trapped too in something funny. It was some kind of weird submission.
Yeah, but it was just an interesting little weird, and then he choked. He takes his hair and chokes Khan with. Suji chokes him with his own hair. Like he's God, I thought it was hilarious. Uh, Khan fights back and he picks him up, tosses him over to the tosses, just yeets, just like picks Suji up and goes, "You're going to the floor."
Yep.
Like no trouble. Khan gets on the floor, beats him up, chokes him with a chair, and then like places the chair on his chest and sits on him. And
Mm-hmm.
places the sitting in the corner. He literally sits on his chest on the chair. It was actually pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Delayed suplex by Cobb in the ring to Suji for 2. Then this beautiful standing moonsault for 2. Cobb
Mm-hmm.
then goes surfing on Suji's back. A very short surf session, but he got a wave or two in. Um, Cobb stops the tornado DDT, but Suji slips out of the power slam and gets the leg grab face slam thing in the corner where they comes running and he catches him with the legs and then slams him into the mat. Slams
Mm-hmm.
the face in that. I love that. Double DDT by Shingo to Cobb and Khan, and it's the senton to Cobb. Cobb gets a sweet, very, very sweet overhead belly to Shingo. And he got height. He
Yeah.
got height. It
Yes,
looked
he
great.
did.
Disaster kick out of the corner by Hanare, but Shingo gets the lariat and tags in Bushi, who hits a missile drop kick into the Busharoonie.
Love it.
Corner splashes by Bushi, or corner splashes to Bushi by Cobb, and Cobb hits spin cycle, and Hanare hits the PK for two. Bushi stops the Streets of Rage, and he gets the rewind kick, but Hanare lands just hard, just like a right hook to the body. Applies Ultima, and Khan gets a hold of Shingo Takagi with the Sheep Killer before he can break it up, and Bushi is forced to tap out.
Hmm.
United Empire represent, baby!
The two kind of very cohesive units of this company coming together to have a very good, interesting match. Um, I liked how at the beginning, before they kind of got everything kind of going, before Suji sat down on the Akon, um, Khan very much wanting that Suji smoke, calling him out at the beginning there,
Mm-hmm.
probably regarding his life choices when he got tied up in that little awkwardness there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he got his revenge on the floor, so.
he did. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And man, did he make a hell of a racket when he did, just throwing the guardrails down, shaking them like crazy. Super
Mm-hmm.
duper loud. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this match. It wasn't anything like super crazy, but like it wasn't boring either. It was like it was a very fun paced match, and I think in a really good place on the card.
Yeah, great spot. I guess a good match in the fourth spot. Just a good match.
Mhm.
Yeah, kind of what you needed in the middle. I hear a kitty. Uh,
Yeah, of course. We started recording, and he decides he wants downstairs.
you gotta throw something at him, make him shut up. That's what you
If
gotta
he
do.
comes up the stairs, I'll consider it.
We move on to the fifth match of the show. It's Eddie Kingston, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Tomohiro Ishii taking on TMDK, the Ichiban Spicy Boy, Kosei Fujita, Mikey Nichols, hysterical Shane Hayes, and the leader and the front man, Zack Sabre Jr. Gooch,
Spicy boy.
Gooch, Gooch adjusting his hair to look like Fujita there.
And doing a poor job at it.
It wasn't for a quick doing it in the ring without a mirror. I think he did an okay job for no mirror in the ring. It was like for that. If you try to do it in the
Mm-mm.
back, okay, you're failing. But for no
Yeah,
mirror in the ring,
no,
yeah.
no. It was a miss. Swing and a
Uh,
miss.
Good striking battle between Fujita and Gooch. Gooch gets the hip attacks to Fujita, corner attacks by Eddie, Gooch, and Tanahashi, but Fujita sends Gooch into Tana's ass. And Tana
Yeah,
didn't even know what was going on. So Tana comes down ready to get back into his group fight. Eddie gets beat up by TMDK. They
yeah.
took out the rest. Uh, they're tagging in and out, doing the arm ringers to Tanahashi. I love that spot where everybody's just arm ringing the crap out of Tanahashi. Saber
Hmm.
gets the cross arm bar, but Tana gets to the ropes. Tana turns a Nichols suplex into a twist and shout. That looked very good. Um, Great DDT by Nichols to Ishii, where he just the Ishii doing that like board, like we're just like just the RVD cell. I'm like, damn, pulling that cell in at 47 years old is insane, dude. Um, and him and Hayes double team him with this with like a swinging neck breaker type move. I'm not sure. It looked like almost they were setting up for like what Eminem's old snapshot was back in the mid 2000s.
Oh
But
yeah,
they
yeah,
but he swung
yeah.
but he threw him off into like a neck breaker almost. But yeah,
Mhm.
um, uh, Gooch then hits the double DDT and that double hip attack to Haston Nichols. Uh, Two guys get one bum. Let's just say it like that because that sounds funny.
What?
Saber gets to the arm bar on Gooch, but Gooch reverses into the ankle lock. But Saber gets out and he does hit the atomic drop to the Gooch.
Ah.
Oh, speed Big chops by Eddie Kingston to Fujita in the corner, then the exploder, but Sabre interferes. Fujita gets the Euro clutch for two, then a beautiful high angle German for two. Uh, Tana's in. He's passing out dragon screws left and right to everybody, but Fujita gets the dragon screw on Tanahashi. Fujita gets into a chop off with Eddie, but he gets tossed and then hits with the Saito suplex, and Eddie hits the spinning back fist for the win. Hanare Hanare shows up after the match and attacks Kingston, hitting Streets of Rage, and then he throws some shots to it down to Kingston. He picks up the title, then just throws it at Eddie. So it's like, are we going to get this strong openweight title match?
I think so.
It's not on the final night, ladies and gentlemen. I will tell you that right now.
I probably not, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
Well, Kevin, there was one thing Kevin was saying. He said maybe the next time Strong comes here, we might get that as their title match, and that's the next time they come to Japan. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that kind of develops there. I really found it hilarious, and I still find it hilarious how the dynamic with Ishii and everybody else is so hilariously mismatched. When Taguchi's trying to give people like orders and he's doing his bippity boppity sign language nonsense, Ishii's just sitting there looking at him like, bro, what the frick?
Well, he just stayed in the corner and he's just like,
he didn't even move. There was one point, like, did you see the only emotion he did was like, that was all he did was just a subtle movement of like, no.
He's like, you're not my coach. I'm not Hantai. Fuck you. That's essentially how it came across.
Not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ishii not having any of it. And I kind of love that about him, how unapologetic he is about who he is and what he's doing. He's not here to make friends. He's not here to make buddies. He's not here to play nice. He's not here to play fetch like a nice stone pitbull does. He fetches you and then yeets you. That's what he does. I really enjoyed Fujita in the winding down of this. Fujita going toe to toe with Kingston. I just really, really appreciated that because it really showed that fire that Fujita endlessly fights with. He really shows up and shows out every single match. And that's why I think he's going to do tremendous in this business after his excursion, which I believe the finals is the official last night of his Young Lion title before he's officially on excursion.
He's a lion he's a lion out in the jungle on excursion trying to hunt.
We'll see how that hunt goes when he's got a little sniper with him. Yeah, it's a fun match.
And he's got the Muscle Man and Mikey Nichols down there with him too. Don't forget about Mikey Nichols.
Yeah, they tagged pretty good the night before.
Yeah, so he's got two of his boys, and then I can't see Shane Hayes not making a trip home to team with Fujita at some point. Like I guess Hayes is American based now because marrying his wife who lives in California. So yeah, he is American based now. But yeah,
we'll see how that goes. We're excited to see where Fujita goes.
I really want to see a Tamashi show because Tamashi shows have started producing shows in Australia. So I want to see a Tamashi show and see what they do with Fujita on those shows.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We come up to the main event of the undercard. It's the Gorillas of Phantasmo versus just five guys: Hikuleo, Jado, Tamatonga, Tangaloa, and El Phantasmo versus Doki Sanada, Taichi, Taka Michinoku, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Big props to Yoshinobu Kanemaru coming over to North America to face off for the Digital Media Championship against Kenny King at Multiverse United this coming Sunday. I am excited for that. He is part of the All-Star Junior Festival too, but I don't know what match he's in on that one. But I know he's facing Kenny King at Multiverse United, and myself and Melball and a couple other people will be doing a live stream on OLE.
Yes. I am very excited because we got two of the five guys going down there, don't we? We have Yoshinobu Kanemaru facing Kenny King, you said?
Hmm.
I always get him confused. He looks so much like Kevin Knight. And Doki. Doki is going to be facing Sammy Callahan.
Yeah, and they're both on, and I think Doki's in the Philly Cheesesteak Cup on the
Yeah.
All Star Junior Festival show. So that is going to be an interesting goddamn ladder match.
Yes. Doki in anything is going to be great. Most luxurious hair, courtesy of Merrick.
Yeah. So ELP on his entrance puts his glasses on Abe-san. Uh, I think Loa was the one that stuck out like a sore thumb gear wise, because even ELP, his gear is closer to Tama and Hikuleo and Jado than Tangaloa's gear was.
What
What
do
is
we think that's telling us?
knee brace under the pants?
He could have worn a similar top.
Yeah, but I think
He
it's the
has
knee
a
brace.
similar top, doesn't he?
He
He
has
had gear similar to this before his knee injury.
he has like I think the blue version of it all.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. Interesting. I mean,
maybe he's fat.
relatable. I mean, we see Chase Owens also. You can see the bulkiness underneath his gear of where his knee brace is.
Yeah, but maybe he's just too fat for his gear right now. You never know. Maybe he's not fully back into that like shape he was before he left. It's very possible.
Also very valid. Very good.
I,
Very interesting speculation.
yeah, and then again, not shaming the guy. Just it's just seeing him. He kind of stuck out on his team, where the only one wearing non like actual gear, like not like
That matched everybody else. Yeah.
non-traditional gear. Yeah. Good fast start from ELP and Kanemaru. Doki
Mhm.
freaking out because he has to face Hikuleo because the entire team bailed off the apron. Oh, that was so good. He did a good job on the attack till
He
Hikuleo
did
gets
his
the.
best. Yeah.
But Hikuleo does come back power through, hits a sidewalk slam for two, then he gets
Mhm.
another two. Uh, there are four sets of nine punches in the corner to Doki, and then Hikuleo beats the shit out of him, and then catches him in the corner. But Kanemaru ends up getting. But Kanemaru splashes to help Doki. Gets a splash to help Doki take down Hikuleo because he gets caught, and then Kanemaru comes off the top to help with the taking Hikuleo over. Really good spot there.
Mhm.
Sonata sends Hikuleo to the floor, hits the plancha, but gets caught coming off the top, and we reverse each other, but Hikuleo does get the suplex. Tama turns a TKO into the tongue and twist, but Sonata slips the power slam and gets the skull in, but misses the moonsault, and Tama gets the exploder. Jado gets a crossface on Taka, but it's broken up. Double Ensaguri to Jado, and the drop kick by Doki and the Michinoku driver, but that pin is broken up. Um, Michinoku driver by Taka Michinoku. People taking everybody out. I only picked up the moves where Taichi takes out Loa with the Axe Bomber, but Tama comes in, takes him down with the tongue and twist. Then Doki comes over the top for the daybreak, but Tama hits him with the gun stun. But Sonata comes in, gives the Shining Wizard to Tama. Hikuleo gets the power slam to Sonata. Then Taka gets the super kick to Hikuleo, but is caught by sudden death from ELP. And Hikuleo hits the choke slam, and they put Jado on top for the pin and the win. Jado, the savior of the Gorillas of Phantasmo.
Was he conscious for that pin?
Doesn't matter. He was the savior.
Oh, Jackdo.
Yeah.
Our good friend Jackdo. Looking jacked as always. Yeah, this one was it kind of picked up the pace again for me. I felt like the last two matches were kind of like we're good. We had a good energy. This one kind of spiked that roller coaster of emotion, if you will. I had a lot of fun with this one. Um, Doki is also like just one of my favorites. He's such a treat to watch. But seeing, I feel like this was the night. I didn't write it down, but it wasn't this the night where Taka was trying to like eye poke Hikuleo, and Hikuleo just put his arm out and held him at arm's length, and Taka was just swinging.
I think so. I've been really.
That was fun. I thought it was
Yeah.
cute. Um, yeah, didn't have a whole ton written down on this one. I just watched and enjoy it.
All right, we're on to the semi-main event of the evening, and my one of my low spots of the show. It's
Yeah,
Kazuchika Okada versus Evil with Dick Togo and other people. Evil attacks for the
shocking.
bell. Evil attacks for the bell, chokes to the shirt. Evil tossing Okada into the barricades on the floor, takes out Abe-san, chokes Okada with the mic cord, trying to get him to give up on actually give up on the mic. Evil gets a chair, chokes Okada with it. Evil tosses. They go back in. Then Evil tosses Okada back out to Togo, and he jams him in the gut with a chair. Then sends him back in for Evil, getting his three in a row, 2 counts, as he does in every single match after this spot. Okada takes control, gets the cornerback elbows, and the DDT for two. Evil slides out, but Okada follows him, runs him into the barricade, and hits the DDT on the floor. Okada gets Evil up and drop up on top back in the ring, and then drop kicks him to the floor. It's goddamn amazing height that Okada has in that drop kick. That's a high.
So
That was the
good.
highlight of this match.
Yeah.
Okada catches the kick of Togo, and he on the floor, and he takes him out temporarily. Okada inadvertently hits the ref, but gets to the money clip. But this is where Yujiro and Show attack, and they hit the double Fisherman Buster. Togo, and then they put Okada upside down, and Togo comes off the top, punching Okada right in the dick. Um, just dick on dick crime, you know. Just
Did they touch
terrible.
tips?
Probably, just not the tip you want to be touching uh,
No.
on that situation. But Evil can only get two. Hits Darkness Falls, but can only get two. Okada turns everything as Evil into the money clip, but Evil runs him into the corner but Okada does end up taking out all of House of Torture temporarily, or actually this was probably when he has most of them. No, yeah, temporarily. Um, and he takes Evil down into another money clip, but the ref gets distracted by Togo, and Sho hit runs Okada in as he breaks it hold into the ref to take the ref out, and Togo comes in, gets the Garada on Okada, but he ends up fighting them all off like a House of Torture killing machine. Please God, do it. The ref gets hit again. Evil gets the lariat, but he only gets two. And then he goes for everything as Evil, but Okada gets the German suplex. But and he goes for the Rainmaker, but Evil collapses before he can hit it. Evil ends up pushing the ref, but Okada stops the low blow with a landslide. Then they each block each other's finishers a couple times, and then Evil gets everything is Evil, and I'm like, no fucking way this is happening. But Okada kicks out a 2.9. Okada gets the roll up. It gets that like Dragon Rana roll up for two. Then hits everything as Rainmaker. Then the landslide. Then he hits the Rainmaker for the win. Thank flippin' Christ that Evil didn't win this. Oh, I thought it was over. I really thought it was over on that Everything is Evil by Evil.
I was just gonna say I thought it was over and I was feeling like horrible because in our little draft there, Evil was one of my picks and he's been my biggest point getter because of how far he's gone in this tournament and I feel so dirty. They're blood points is what they feel like. They're just bleh.
Because because you had Evil, I'm in last. You jerk. I'm the
Hey,
only
I
one that
mean,
didn't. I'm the only one that didn't go to the quarterfinals because Sonata and Saber were both eliminated. One of those two should have gotten to the semis over Evil.
yes, I agree. Over Evil, yes, I agree. I also was very concerned that we were going to end up with Evil in the finals here. I'm very happy that we didn't, but I also have my reservations about Okada being in the finals here as well. We'll get into why that became a thing or not a thing later.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that on the next show. Okada back in the finals. So yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, this one gave me a bit of a heart attack, not gonna lie. But yeah, it did kind of slam the brakes a bit on the energy of the show.
mm-hmm.
Again, it just for me it's the shenanigans. I can't keep taking all the stuff at ringside. Like there's what the Bullet Club is doing, and then there's what the House of Torture is doing. They're two completely different sets of shenanigans. One is functional, where the War Dogs are trying to establish themselves as this crazy kind of group. And I feel like they're doing it in a way that's not annoying.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, House of Torture is doing it in a way that it's like being forced down your throat.
yep,
And it's not in a pleasurable way. It's just not fun.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm thank Christ he's not in the finals. I don't have to deal.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
Yeah.
deal with him on the next night, but at least not in the freaking in the G1 title match.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank goodness.
Let's talk about what probably the goddamn best match of the tournament. Holy shit!
Hmm. Yeah.
It's Tetsuya Naito versus Will Ospreay with his boys. Naito's boys aren't there to support him, but Ospreay's crew, they're united
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right there, baby.
Yeah.
This is a rematch of last year's G1 Climax semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
right back here a year later. They circle each other early, like just rolling around, just like walking around,
Mm-hmm.
not hooking up for like a minute and a half. And they trade holds. They do lock up. They trade some holds. Naito gets the head scissors, but can't get the Destino early. And Osprey can't get the head and blade early, and then Naito rolls into his pose as when after he missed it and blade.
Mm-hmm.
Osprey chops Naito to the floor, then hits the aggressive plancha, as Chris Charlton calls it. Naito whips Osprey into the barricade, but he hops the barricade, then comes back off the barricade with the phenomenal forearm. Night and back of the ring, nice backbreaker, Lux slam style backbreaker by Osprey. Then he applies the knee into the back chin lock spot. Really good, solid fundamental style wrestling. Beautiful hip toss into the knee by Naito. Again, they're really talking about that's very much a lucha inspired thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, then he
Mm-hmm.
gets a drop kick to the back of the neck, then gets Osprey in the corner and hits combinacion cabron. No spitting on this one.
No spit.
No spit. Naito gets the leg full Nelson, but Osprey does get to the ropes. But even though was it the last show, he immediately broke it and was like moving on. He or no, that was the Tanahashi one, I think. He immediately broke it and then was going right into the next move. Somehow forgot how to break it though this time.
I mean,
I,
you get this industry, you get dropped on your head quite a bit. I mean,
I've been dropped on my head and I'm not even in the industry. I've been dropped on my head a bunch of times.
ah, that's a feat.
Yeah.
How'd you manage that?
Osprey stops the Stardust press. It's the Gloria into the handspring corkscrew kick. Follows up with the phenomenal forearm. I wrote Stardust press for some reason. I think Chris Charlton said Stardust press, but I'm like, that's Gloria. And gets the phenomenal forearm for two. Osprey lariats Naito to the floor, goes to the top, but Naito brings him down to the apron, and they brawl. Naito stops the neckbreaker in the apron, goes up for the Os cutter off the second rope, but Naito stops him and hits the neckbreaker to the apron. Then again, one off the apron to the floor. But Osprey does get back in at 19, Mel's favorite spot in the world. uh,
Yeah, no.
I think he did it well. Naito gets the drop kick and he hits Gloria and gets the modified Koji clutch. But Osprey fights and gets to the ropes. I can't remember what they called Naito's version of the Koji clutch because it is an alternate version, but it is a modified version of Kojima's Koji clutch. Um, Naito put Osprey up top, but he fights him off. Naito gets a hard shot, but Osprey lands on his feet off the poison. I'm going to call it the poison Frankensteiner. But, well, it's the
That
poison
sounds like a
Rana.
shot.
Well, it's the poison Rana, but from the Frankensteiner on the top. There's the Poison Frankensteiner, the Poison Steiner. But the he fights Osprey, hangs him up. They end up fighting. Osprey hangs him up on the ropes and hits a shooting star press off the top onto Naito on the top rope. Then hits a sick ass power bomb for two.
Mm-hmm.
Naito sidesteps the Os Cutter in the most Samoa Joe thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and then gets the jackknife cover for two. Then a hard lariat is hit by Osprey for two, but then Naito reverses the powerbomb into the DDT, and both men are down on the mat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Enzuigiri and the tornado DDT by Naito, and he hits the brain buster for two. Don't see him hitting much
Mm-hmm.
of those. That was an actual brain buster. Then he scoop slams, goes up, but he misses the Stardust press. When was the last time you saw this man hit a Stardust press?
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, and Osprey gets the hidden blade, but he cannot make the cover. They start to trade strikes. Osprey takes over, but then Naito fights back, and he gets the elbows to the neck, and the 25-minute time is called. There's no time limit on this, but
Mm-hmm.
Kevin and Chris marked that they just said 25 minutes. It has been. It didn't feel like 25 minutes to me. It felt like
No.
15, maybe 15 at that point to me. I was
Mm-hmm.
just thrown through with this match. Naito continues with the elbows. Osprey starts headbutts, hits some hook kicks over and over again. Then he hits a hard, then he drops him. Then he just goes down and just crashes this hard forearm to the face. And the ref pulls him off. And then the ref starts a count, a down count to Naito because thinks Naito might be out. So he starts counting to 10, but Naito pushes the ref to break the count. But Osprey hits the hidden blade for two. Then he gets the Os Cutter, but he's only getting two. Osprey hits the scoop slam, hits the sky twister, but again only two. Osprey calls for Stormbreaker, but he gets Dragon Rana into a pin by Naito for two. Very Okada esque.
Mm-hmm.
Hidden Blade is missed, but but only because Naito collapsed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Naito ends up turning Stormbreaker into the Destino. And then he hits the Destino, but Osprey kicks at two, and Kevin and Chris are going, "Oh my God, what is going on?" They're he's kicked out of now two Destinos,
Mm-hmm.
but Naito lines up one more Destino, and he gets the win. Naito is moving on to the G1 Climax finals, and my heart is broken.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. My heart said Naito. My head said Osprey because it made statistical and logistical sense.
That's what I thought.
Um, but it's interesting. Like, what a trip this was. This match was crazy. And I felt like it's been a hot minute. Like, Naito had a pretty decent G1,
Mhm.
but he wasn't moving as quickly in the rest of the G1 as he was in this match. It was like he was, saving something for the semifinals and then subsequently the finals. Um, yeah, wow. This did shock me. This
Yeah.
shocked me a lot. Um, I knew you were probably going to be very unhappy with this.
And I'm disappointed. Osprey is my
Mhm,
guy, but like Naito going to the finals, there's a story to tell. Both whether it's Okada, whether it's Naito winning this and facing
mhm,
Sonata at Wrestle Kingdom, there's a story. Sonata,
mhm,
if Okada goes, he's going to go into there to go after Okada to get revenge for getting his title taken away from him. And
mhm,
if Naito wins, Naito has that like history with Sonata, and he was betrayed, and he's gonna go there. I'm gonna do the one thing. I'm gonna take your belt for you betraying me. I'm gonna take that belt from you. And again, both
mhm.
those stories I think could be absolutely incredible. I think the Naito story is the more
Compelling.
more compelling, just better overall story to me. but we will see. That is coming up on our next episode of this show. It will be, and I'm going to bring the graphic up. It will be Kazuchika Okada versus Tetsuya Naito in the G1
Mm,
Climax 33 finals. No time limit. These men may go forever because these two men have been fighting forever. And is this the reason
yeah.
why you were about Okada going on to the finals?
Yes. Yes.
I
I was
figured.
concerned because they really do have that fight forever kind of mentality. And it's like at some point in time, when do they stop having interesting and good matches? Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll find out on the next episode. Should be dropping hopefully tomorrow for you, ladies and gentlemen, as you watch
Hmm.
this on Tuesdays. Hopefully, this will be dropping for you Wednesday because we're hoping to record this tomorrow night, Tuesday night for
Yes.
us. So please check it out. Please, hopefully, check that out and check all of it out because we're going to be coming back with a lot of great content over the next little bit. We have some lot to start and we have to catch up on. We just had a lot of G1 to catch up on, and I had a very busy weekend. So we're finally just getting everything caught up right now. Stardom will be caught up over this next week. We have G1 shows, or not G1, 5-star shows to talk about. And we
Mm-hmm.
also have the August 13th show, the big show with Megan Bain versus Tam Nakano in the main event. We
Hmm.
have that coming up, so don't forget to check that out. That will probably be out late in the week or next week, if depending on when it drops on Stardom World.
Yes.
They've been
Excited for
pretty fast.
that. What?
They've been pretty fast in dropping shows throughout the G
They
this
have been,
five
yes. Yes.
stars.
The
So yeah,
demand is there.
yeah. So hopefully it's up in the next couple of days, and we'll be able to get all those coverage. We might just compress the three shows before it and just talk about some 5-star shows just to get that out and get those 5 stars updated, and then talk about that August, and then we can talk about that August 13th show at the end of the week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Got
lots
you
of great
guys.
There's lots of great content coming for you guys. But I also want to
Mm-hmm.
say thank you to all of you for all the great support you've given us, all the likes, all the comments, all the subscription, all the subscribes you have done to the channel. I really do appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to be alerted every time we drop a NJPW Puroresu review, a Chop Talk, a Stardom review, or any other special thing we do. So please hit that notification bell.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Ha.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get out of here. But before we do that, we want to. Oh shit! My stuff's been running across the bottom the whole time. I'm very sorry, Mel. I didn't realize I had the wrong one up. You can find my stuff over on X, Blue Sky, Hive, at that Canada guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre M Melball Wrestling Talk. I have a private Facebook, but I don't accept many requests from a lot of people on my private one. So you can get a hold of me on the Andre Melba Wrestling Talk Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find me whenever I pop up at random times doing random things on our local establishment. I drop in every now and again. My boy Oled and other people just drop in, do random shows here, there, talk about lots and different stuff. You can check that out. Please check it out at twitch.tv/our local establishment. Also on YouTube at youtube.com/at our local establishment. And don't forget to check out my boy, our friend, our good buddy, Mike the Ref. You can catch me next week on his channel previewing the wonderful, the awesome, the great event, the return of All In. We are going to be previewing that on his channel at Backbreaker Video. So check that out next week, ladies and gentlemen. So you can check that out at youtube.com/at Backbreaker Video. You can find all of Mike's live gaming content, his watch alongs for wrestling at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. And then you can see all the replays of all the great gaming content over there at youtube.com/at backbreaker_gaming, where you can find him, you can find Rick Jules, you can find the return of PJC, and I know she was just on it because she was live on stream, their frequent guest, Miss Kayla J.
Kayla J. Love Kayla J. She's amazing.
Melball, where can they find you, you lovely awesome person?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can find her on that X thing at Collins Melball. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Mastodon, all at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment's programming, Paramindful. It's a show about spooky stuff We just recorded a new episode coming out on Monday. You guys want to check that out. We discussed a very trendy cryptid that is making the rounds in the theaters right now, and that is mermaids. We decided to discuss mermaids, but let me tell you, it turned out to be a very fun discussion about mermaids and what we think that they really are and how they tie into the myths and legends of their existence.
Did please tell me you talked about John Cena as a mermaid? Please tell me you talked about John Cena as a
It was
mermaid.
a missed opportunity, but as an
Oh,
homage to you, my friend, I will ensure that an image of John Cena as a merman makes it into the video. You heard
I
it
s-
here.
I still haven't seen it, but I've heard so much about that scene. It's tiny. It's like 30 seconds of the movie, but I've heard a lot about it. So
I hear it's fantastical. We'll have to find that and put it in there for you. Getting back to that, Paramindful with Alex and Werewolf, the gold standard, Carl Carafel. That's dropping on Monday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Come listen to us talk about mermaids. You can also find me on Astrid Pizarro's YouTube channel where we have our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We're going to be having another episode coming out on Friday where we're going to be discussing extensively the Stardom women, especially Julia and Momokogo, taking on Giselle Shaw and Diana
oh, is
Peraza.
Momo in that match?
She
I
is.
thought it was a three-way match. I thought it was a
No,
three-way.
it is a four-way.
Oh, I didn't see
Yeah.
Momo there. I apologize. I'm sorry, Momo.
I am so excited. I'm singing about it. We're going to be discussing that again on Ladies Wrestling Showcase, and we're hoping to very soon have another special guest coming on. We're going to be discussing that coming in the next couple of weeks. Also, if you're wanting to watch NJPW, we can't leave a link in the description, but there is the website down there njpwworld.com. What did I do?
Oh, and there will be a link on their main page with below our link tree to
Yes,
New Japan World. We will have a link there for you, ladies and gentlemen.
on our main
And
page. There we go.
and to Stardom site too.
Yes. Anyway, njpwworld.com, you guys. It is approximately 999 yen or approximately $10 Canadian, but according to the site, it's actually 715, which is great because that's all you got to pay for a month of amazing professional wrestling. And you can even go back into the archives, watch some of those older matches, maybe check out some of those hour-long bangers between Okada Kazuchika and Kenny Omega. You guys want to check that out? That being said, my friend, do we have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
No, I just want to say thank you so very much for joining us here on NJPW Produce Review. We appreciate all of you.
And that being said, I am your Momo. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.